Let's get into it.
The yeas are 51. The nays are 49. The confirmation is confirmed. The yeas are 50.
Kash Patel has been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. I got an information dump for you here. I got like 20 tabs in front of me. You're going to hear about some people that hate that this has happened. You're going to hear some people that love that this has happened. Gavin Newsom might be one of them, as you can see right there. Let's just play this clip and let's just keep it going. Kash Patel, the missing piece of the Avengers.
Director Kash Patel. All right, we have an FBI Director Kash Patel getting 51 votes in a Senate-wide confirmation vote just a moment ago to 49 noes, which means that 2 Republican senators did not vote for him. For that and more, let's go to senior correspondent Chad Pergram, who's following all the moves on Capitol Hill. Chad?
Good afternoon, John. Well, Bernie Moreno, the Republican senator from Ohio, just read the vote total, 51 to 49. Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader who announced his retirement earlier today, he voted yes. Some people thought he might vote no, but there were 2 GOP no's. You had Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. So 51-49. They did not need J.D. Vance here to break a tie in this instance. I should note that this is only the second nominee who's gotten more than 1 GOP no. You had Mitch McConnell, who's voted, being the only no on the Republican side a couple of times here. You have to go back.
So Mitch is retiring. That's what I was applauding there. Good for him. He also said yes, which I love to see as well. Susan Collins, Lisa, and I didn't catch her last name, but I know who she is. I saw a clip of her today talking about supporting Ukraine and how Zelensky's not a dictator. So I think we know where she stands. A little bit of that rhino action. Let's just keep on going through all these little things I got here. Kash Patel. Man, there are so many people who are afraid of Kash Patel. And we can only imagine why. You know, as I go through these clips, there's going to be some clips of him talking about what he thinks should happen in that role before he actually took the role. So there's just a whole bunch. And this is what every Democrat is seeing right now. This is what they're seeing. I cannot wait for this guy's first act in this position. I can't wait. Here, check this out.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kash, getting ready to kick off this whole nomination process. You excited about it?
I'm very excited, sir.
One thing that we had to do is we got to reform the FBI. Not that necessarily the agents in the field, man, they do a phenomenal job. But what's going on in the Senate floor, the Hoover building? They've weaponized the FBI. And the guy to clean that up and get the FBI back focused on doing their job, and that's to keep Americans safe and look at for American interests, that's Kash. Kash, you got anything you want to say?
Senator, I'm humbled and honored by your support, and I look forward to the advice and consent process to earn the trust and confidence of your colleagues and restore truth and transparency to the FBI.
It's almost like you had that rehearse. That is like perfect. Good to see you all. Hey, guys.
He has been Kash's biggest supporter throughout this whole thing. Mark Wayne Mullen, he's just been a tremendous supporter of Kash. He's been updating people all along the way. If you were following him on X, I'm sure you saw those updates. Let's just keep on going. This is one of the people that is obviously scared. And again, you have to wonder why Kash Patel has been working in the intel community for such a long time. He's been a prosecutor. He's the guy that uncovered the Russian collusion narrative and the fact that Hillary paid for it. I mean, he is the guy. How could they say he's not qualified for this position? I don't know. You know, the question again is, what are they all afraid of?
I've never seen any nominee to a position of significant responsibility that has as many disqualifying factors in his or her background. But I think that one comment about him that strikes me whenever I read it is the full quote from former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Part of that quote has been cited by previous speakers. I want to read the whole quote. Kash Patel's conduct in Mr. Trump's first term and thereafter indicates that as FBI director, he would operate according to secret police chief Lavrenti Beria's reported comment to Joseph Stalin, "Show me the man and I'll show you the crime." Now, very few people remember Secret Police Chief Beria and the terror he caused in carrying out Joseph Stalin's edicts to destroy people's lives, to execute them, to eliminate their families. But the mantra of Beria and Stalin, "Show me the man and I'll show you the crime," make up the crime to fit the man and we will eliminate him.
Kind of like when they were deeming parents who showed up to school board meetings as domestic terrorists and took their license plates down and followed them around. And is he talking about stuff like that? Because that's what Kash Patel did, right? No. No. I guess that's what Christopher Wray did. Interesting. Maybe he's not keeping up with all that. It seems like all these people were fine with that bureau and their powers being directed at the American people. But now that there's a chance that it might be directed at them, all of a sudden there's an issue. I mean, we're seeing the same thing with Doge going to USAID and various agencies and departments. The second that the money gets threatened, the second that the purse string gets threatened, the second you start to see where everything's going, all of a sudden they're all assembling in front of places and they're saying that they're trying to fight off Elon Musk and, he's trying to take your data and this and that. Very, very interesting. Somebody on X, X is a wild place. Somebody put that up on X. I don't condone. I don't think that's going to happen. He seems like a good man. I'm sure. Quoting John Bolton. Let's keep going here. Here's somebody that actually loves the idea of cash, I think. Let's play it.
Mr. President, it's been 1 month since President Trump took the oath of office. Since January 20th, the Senate has been hard at work confirming the president's cabinet nominees, 18 confirmed so far. President Trump has more of his team in place today than any president has had at this point since 2001. And we've done this despite obstruction by Democrats. Every nominee has received a fair process, as promised, and the Senate will continue to keep its foot on the gas until President Trump's cabinet table is full. Mr. President, later today, the Senate will vote to confirm Kash Patel to be director of the FBI. Mr. Patel will lead the nation's primary federal law enforcement agency at a critical time. We've seen a heightened threat of terrorism in the homeland. Illegal drugs continue to come across the southern border and take the lives of too many Americans. Violent crime spiked in recent years, and it's still a problem in many parts of the country. And at the same time, the FBI has lost the trust of many Americans who fear the agency has become politicized. Mr. President, Kash Patel has spent his career working in criminal law and national security. He spent his first 8 years after law school as a public defender in state and federal courts in Florida. In 2014, he was brought on as a terrorism prosecutor at the U.S. Department of Justice, prosecuting terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. From there, he went to work in national security for the House Intelligence Committee and then in the first Trump administration. He worked on the National Security Council, where he handled hostage rescues, among other sensitive missions. He also served as principal deputy for the acting director of national intelligence and later as chief of staff for the acting Secretary of Defense. Mr. President, as I said, the FBI has lost trust among the American people in recent years. Much of that stems from a perception that politics has infected the FBI's important work. And it's not hard to see why. In just the last few years, the FBI field office in Richmond, Virginia, circulated a memo suggesting that traditional Catholics could be violent extremists. In 2021, the Attorney General infamously instructed the FBI to work with local law enforcement to target parents who attended school board meetings. And of course, there is the FBI's apparent double standard when it comes to investigating President Trump and its repeated failures to cooperate with congressional Republicans. Mr. President, the next director of the FBI needs to focus on rooting out politics so the FBI can enforce the law, uphold the Constitution, and keep Americans safe. The Bureau also needs a renewed focus on empowering the FBI's field office to be good partners to local law enforcement. I'm encouraged that Mr. Patel has the support of the National Police Association, the National Sheriff's Association, and multiple state attorneys general, all of whom will be his partners in law enforcement should Mr. Patel be confirmed. We've unfortunately seen that no community is immune from crime, terrorism, or illegal drugs. And we need all law enforcement working together and focused on the real threats facing our country. I look forward to working with Mr. Patel to restore the integrity of the FBI and get it focused on its critical mission.
Man, yeah, he even brought up what I brought up. Yeah, they were targeting people, traditional Catholics, parents. It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, I don't even know if you guys have seen the videos. There's videos of people just answering their door, and there's people that are claiming they're with the Bureau, and they're asking them about things that they posted online. And obviously these people are the people that they approach. They're no nonsense. So they're like, get off my property. I'm not doing this. Like, it's, they handle it as a citizen should. But man, you could tell it's just the threat of them appearing at your door that they're trying to put into people. And it's like, whew, that's what you got going on. That's what this guy'd rather see. You know? Talking about secret police. Doesn't that sound like secret police?
We just got Kash.
No charge, nothing, just showing up at people's houses because of things that they posted. Oh, also, I guess to let you know, if you are on X, that is leader John
Mr. President,
Thune. I'm probably saying that wrong. John Thune. Not 100% sure. He's definitely a good follow on X. We're moving on to Tim Sheehy. He is also very happy about this. Let's play it.
We just got Kash Patel confirmed as FBI director. It's going to be an exciting new day for our agency, our brave men and women in the FBI, many of whom I've served alongside overseas when they supported our Special Operations Task Force. Many of my friends from the military are serving in the FBI now. We got great men and women on the front line there. Kash is going to be a great leader for you all, and he's going to help bring accountability back to the organization and make sure that we return FBI to its core focus, which is finding and putting away bad guys. Let's get to work.
And that's exactly what Kash Patel says he wants to do. He wants to get a lot of these guys focused on criminals, not focused on the American people. He wants that to stop. And just so you know, I'm just reposting everything that you see on X. If you're on there, you'll be able to find the people that I'm pulling up right now, just in case that's something that you want to do. Even this video, I'll make sure that it's all available for you guys. Just in case, I don't know, you want to repost it yourself, you want to spread the message, whatever it is that you want to do. Just want to make sure that you guys are able to do it. Let's move on to the next clip here. Oh, is this somebody who hates again? I bet you it is.
Confirmation vote. If you vote for Kash Patel more than any other confirmation vote you make, you will come to regret this one to your grave. I yield the floor.
Man, I don't know about you. When I hear people say stuff like that, I hear that as a threat more so than a grave warning about how I've heard things like that from politicians, like, oh, things are going to get real bad if you do this, or things are. I hear that as a threat. I really do. Like, imagine someone said that to you. Imagine someone pointed at you and said, if you do X, you're going to regret that to your grave. You'd be like, hold on, buddy. Oh, are we fighting? Is that what's about to happen? I need to know if that's what's about to happen. You wouldn't even want the person to walk away. You'd be like, what do you mean by that? Like, expand on that. You know what I mean? But I think what he actually means, and what a lot of them mean when they say things like that, they mean that they'll regret it. Because Kash Patel says things like this.
For like, the point is, people now know that a lot of times the U.S. government has lied to them.
Yeah.
And has done stuff for their self-interest over the American citizens. And my point to, the president was when I was like, dude, I'm the Russiagate guy. Like, I figured out the FBI lied to the world. Hillary paid for it. Like, you got to just give me like 27 seconds. Like, let's put this stuff out. And it was a monster fight to get the Nunes memo out, to get all those documents out. But there's a way to do it. Now that Americans know that other stuff exists, I think President Trump's strongest point, I think he said this publicly, is like he's going to have one of these offices or commissions that puts this stuff out, and everyone can request information, be like, hey, I want the Bay of Pigs information out. I want the whatever documents out. And I think
JFK
that's the way to do it.
The Epstein documents.
Right.
The
The Epstein Black Book, like on day one.
The Iran-Contra documents, the MK Ultra documents. I can keep going.
No, that's why you're going to be the viceroy of the declassification office. For like, to
that is something that he wants to see enacted, the declassification office. That is something that he wants to start having. He mentioned that on the Sean Ryan. Oh, let me move that. He mentioned that on the Sean Ryan podcast as well. Okay, so you see this picture? I can't show you it because there's like swearing in the caption, but somebody wrote, "This is peak Democrat Party 2025. 5 a-holes huddled around the microphone with zero constituent support, trying to block an American patriot, Kash Patel, from doing his job." I found that so hilarious. Just 5 a-holes. There's no one there. Oh my gosh. There's just no one there. They have a sign that says block Kash Patel. Like, what is that? Who is that? That's Adam Schiff. Oh my God. Of course it's Adam Schiff. I'm going to play a clip of him soon enough. Is going to pop up. Tim Pool excited about Kash Patel's confirmation. I think everybody is, you know, on the main channel. I'm sure you're going to hear Rogan talk about it as well. Everybody's pumped. Everybody. Because there's about to be some real change. Again, he was that missing piece. You have Tulsi, Intel, you have RFK Health, you have JD Vance. He's becoming the voice around the world. He's the one that's traveling place to place. You know, super well spoken. Who else you got? You have Elon Musk. Corruption, waste, and abuse in all agencies across the board. And now you have Kash. And not only is he going to be able to direct the Bureau in a proper way, but he's also going to be able to say, I want this list. I want these documents. I want this. I want that. If there's people who are out of line in the Bureau, he's going to be like, I want these guys gone. I don't think we've seen anyone who's had the ability to have people fired or laid off that hasn't taken it. RFK, I think he's at like 2,000 people that he's gotten rid of already. You know, Elon Musk has helped President Trump get rid of thousands and thousands of people who weren't doing their job properly. So I don't see Kash Patel being any different. Here's one of those a-holes huddled around a microphone.
Judiciary Committee what crimes it was that he was concerned about that caused him to plead the Fifth. Kash Patel, mark my words, will cause evil in this building behind us, and Republicans who vote for him will rue that day. Judiciary Committee.
I'm telling you, man, sounds like a threat. It's just interesting when people talk like that. You will rue this day. Someone says that to me? That's like some medieval stuff. You will rue the day that you came forth and voted for Kash Patel. You'll rue this day, Republicans. Like, okay, all right, we'll see. I think Kash Patel, he's already decided to start doing what he needs to do. I think there's a video here. Oh gosh, oh, he showed up. I hope Rock's okay. Oh gosh, is that Schumer? Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh, not Elizabeth. Oh no. Adam Schiff. Oh, people are hilarious, man. People are hilarious. Listen, I know there's a lot of people that are going to say that video's fake. You know, I don't know. There's no community notes on it, so it must be real. Here's Kash Patel talking about a little bit about what he thinks he would do in this role.
Just look at Nancy Pelosi's insider trading deals. It is insider trading, and she keeps making up hundreds of millions of dollars. So do dozens of other congressmen and women. So they know what's going to happen. They're writing the legislation. They're doing the funding. It's the same thing for the media circuit. These people, not all of them, but for the most part, live and breathe to get on these TV shows. I could care less if I'd ever do media again. In fact, I'd probably be a much happier guy. These guys are begging to get on your show for 3 minutes here and 4 minutes there. They're begging for relevance, and they're looking for any way they can get it.
Do you think I shouldn't have any government officials on?
I think they should just have people who care about questioning them neutrally. Again, not a Republican or Democrat thing. Like if someone goes out there and specifically lies about Russiagate, about impeachment, about insurrection, about the 51 Intel letter, call them out on it. But they keep having him on over and over and over and over again. Just look at Nancy Pelosi's insider trading deals.
Man, I can't wait for this guy to be he's in the position of power now. He'll be speaking on it. Kash Patel promised to disclose who flew on Epstein's flight log. Listen to this.
To you about the Epstein that, and our colleagues know you're going to clean it up. I want to talk to you about the Epstein case. I have worked on this for years, trying to get those records of who flew on Epstein's plane and who helped him build this international human trafficking, sex trafficking ring. Now, earlier I urged then Chairman Durbin to subpoena those records, and I ended up being blocked by Senator Durbin and Christopher Wray. They stonewalled on this, and I know that breaking up these trafficking rings is important to President Trump. So will you work with me on this issue so we know who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings?
Absolutely, Senator. Child sex trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past and how we are going to countermand missing children and exploited children going forward.
Thank you for that.
Interesting. There's also clips of him talking about releasing that list day one.
Yeah.
He even mentioned that in one of the other clips that I showed recently. We'll see. I mean, that's one of those things. You got to see it to believe it. I mean, it's been out there for a while, and nobody's decided to do it. It would be incredible if he was the one that decided. Here's more of him talking about what he would do in his role.
Then we need to decrease what I call government creep with personnel. The FBI's footprint has gotten so freaking big, and the biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. Go chase down murderers and rapists and drug dealers and violent offenders. What do you need 7,000 people there for? Same thing with DOJ. What are all these people doing here? Looking for their next government promotion, looking for their next fancy government title, looking for their parachute out of government. So while you're bringing in the right people, you also have to shrink government.
So massive government reform.
Yeah. You got to work with Congress to eliminate the billets. This is one of the things we did when I was deputy DNI. We got to DNI and I was like, okay, what do all these people do? We've got the CIA, so why do I have analysts doing the CIA's job here? Why do I have a floor of them? Like, give me a good answer. I don't know everything. I don't know a lot. But if you can give me an answer that satisfies their existence, I'm all in. Well, we just have our own people. Okay, well, now we don't. And we went to Congress and zeroed out a bunch of billets, and they hated us for it.
Why? Why would Congress hate you for that?
Not Congress, the public. Congress is like, great, you saved us money. You're the only agency that returned money this year because we didn't spend our entire budget. We were literally funding seats with no humans in them for years. And what the government creep that I was talking about is these agencies go to Congress every year. And again, this is why it's a thing of decades. I need 5 more seats here. I need 10 more seats here. Okay, you keep doing that. How's that going? Oh, we'll fill that seat next year. We're in the process of, interviewing people for that section. And that keeps, no one returns money. It's the biggest fiction in government that you can't return money. Every agency and department that I've ever worked for, when it comes to the fiscal end of the year, they're like, go on trips, go spend money. What? Just give it back to Congress. We can't do that.
I think him and Trump are on the exact same page. They're on the exact same page, and that's crazy to hear. Seats without humans in them for years, and this is what he's going to do. And also, talk about every time you hear someone say he's not qualified. The guy was the deputy DNI. That's the position. Tulsi has the position above that. She is DNI, the Director of National Intelligence. He was the deputy. Like, this guy has so much qualifications for this position, and he has a good outlook on government and the size that it should be and what people should be doing. I can't wait to see what he does. Also, while he was talking, I was like, I wonder if this guy could be president one day, or vice president, or in the administration in a different role. I'd love to see him in a Vance administration, maybe doing the same job, maybe not, but I don't know.
And I'm excited. He's going to be a great FBI director. He's got so much experience in that space and in that organization. And man, he knows how to get the job done.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to him getting in there.
And
there's a lot of people looking forward to Kash Patel. Gina Carrero, this is going to be epic. Congratulations, Kash Patel, with this right here. Oh man, there's a lot of people excited. A lot of people excited. Kash Patel, man, he's gonna be doing some wild things. This is his friend again, who's been a long supporter, voting now. The Senate is now voting on the motion, blah, 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 blah. So, yes, this did happen. We're almost there. So he's been a huge push for Kash Patel. Huge push. Again, just to bring him up again. Seems like a really solid dude, in my opinion. Yeah, again, this is what we're seeing. We're going to... People are just like, we're going to confirm him. And then also you have this. Where's that Adam Schiff clip? I got to play that clip for you guys. Patrick Bet-David, he says, here we go. Oh, here. Is this the one? Hold on. I think there's another one. Oh, no, that's a Rogan clip. Throw that out of there. We don't do Rogan on this channel. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Let's play this. So this is Adam Schiff just before Kash was confirmed. And then you have Kash Patel talking about Adam Schiff. And it kind of gives a little window into why Adam Schiff doesn't want Kash Patel in this position.
This is someone we cannot trust. This is someone who lacks the character to do this job, someone who lacks the integrity to do this job. We know that. Our Republican colleagues know that. The only qualification Kash Patel has to be FBI director is that when everyone else in the first Trump administration said, no, I won't do that, that crosses moral, ethical, and legal lines, Kash Patel said, sign me up. In the first Trump administration, as we are seeing in the second, you rise to the level of your sycophancy, and no one is a bigger or more dangerous sycophant than Kash Patel. This political hack does not deserve to be in this building. He can't do the job. He won't protect the public. He will misuse the resources of the Bureau. He will weaponize it against the president's political opponents rather than protecting the safety, the public safety of the American people.
Adam Schiff is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. And what broke that we're going to talk about right now is Adam Schiff met with a whistleblower. Adam Schiff went to the podium day after day after day saying, I know nothing about this. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to protect it. And then Adam Schiff, led the prosecution of the impeachment trial in the Senate of President Donald Trump. Talk about someone who was conflicted out of the game because he was part of the hoax that brought Charmella in, manufactured that false accusation, and then peddled it out to the world. And he continued, not surprising, he's lied about almost everything in his life. But now he lied just to set up a presidential impeachment. And that's what I was talking about, these disinformation campaigns. And then he should be investigated because he lied to the world about his interactions with Charmella, who is a whistleblower, and I can't stress it enough, that started a presidential impeachment. Now, your history is way better than mine, but I can't remember the last time a president was actually impeached. It's a significant process and escalation, and it's reserved for the time when it actually shows a crime.
not when it shows the manufacture of fake information to show a fake crime. The guy that found and manufactured the evidence with Charmella was the prosecutor in the case against the target of the investigation. That is the ultimate, from a prosecutorial standpoint, conflict of interest. But he knew what he was doing, and he thought he would never get exposed. And I think thanks to, I think it was John Solomon and his fantastic reporting, we now see what I've been saying for years, that I thought he met with him for sure, and it will come out, and it now has.
Wow. What a chill. What a chill would go down your spine if all of a sudden the new FBI director is confirmed and you hear him say that
This is someone
you are the biggest criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. Oh, God. Adam Schiff right now is just laying on his stomach in his bed, crying into his pillow. 100. What else do you do in this situation? There's nothing he can do. You turn to the president. President's Trump. You can't turn to the vice president. It's J.D. Vance. You can't turn to the DNI. It's Tulsi. You're like, maybe I'll run over to health. They're like HR, Health and Human Services. It's RFK standing there. This is terrible for him. And Kash literally just said he should be investigated. Now Kash is the guy to do it. Just terrible. What a terrible turn of events for Adam Schiff. The man is here. Kash Patel, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see what he does. Again, when it comes to lists being released, even the JFK stuff right now, as I'm seeing there's some kind of task force, I'm not really a fan of that. I'd rather them just dump a PDF out on X or something and just let us all just have the ability to read every single page. Those of us that want to read everything get to, and those who don't and just want to take cliff notes from everyone posting videos, they can do that. Whatever. But again, you got to see it to believe it. But I've heard so much from Kash. He seems like such a straight shooter. He's a straight up Trump loyalist. He's exactly what that bureau needs, and he is now the FBI director. That's all I got for you guys right now. Like, subscribe, and you know what? Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me just check to see if I think they usually do this a day later. But if we can see anything with Trump confirmed, because when they get like sworn in, I don't know if Kash is going through that type of thing currently. Just in case anything pops up. Kash Patel takes over the FBI. 2-hour video here. Hinduistan Times. Yeah, of course they're pumped. They're like, wow, look at that. Okay, so there's nothing with like Trump like swearing him in or giving any comments. Actually, let's just check. Let's check on X, see if Trump has made any comments at all. Trump pushed for Kash. Kash did a lot for Trump. I mean, when everybody was against Trump, Kash Patel was figuring out how to help him. So there's been somebody posted this. This is actually funny.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, what's your secret weapon?
Cash.
Cash. Yeah, no, there's nothing. Trump hasn't released any statements. As soon as he does, as soon as all that happens, I will definitely let you guys know. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Helps the channel tremendously. Other than that, I am out.